speaking of interesting plays in this series, in the 8-5 triple play game, there was so much news in the 8-5 triple play. I think I had texted you like we could just go do a podcast on Monday
Yeah.
night's game. Um, so a report came out on Saturday while the White Sox were in
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco. Thank you. And I even had coffee, so I'd be more
It's your
more
second favorite team.
yeah. But in San Francisco, that the training staff had instructed some players who were dealing with the epidemic or pandemic of leg tiredness in the White Sox and coming back from groin injury like Anderson that this is from the ESPN article I had read. Manager Tony La Russa on Saturday told reporters that several White Sox veterans are playing under trainers' instructions that if they make a routine out, they slow it down running towards first base. So here's my question. And if you're a
How do
trainer
you?
in the game of baseball, how do you define a routine out?
Well,
How do you define that when that player grabs that ball that he's going to throw a perfect throw to first?
yeah.
That
This is why you and I got into a bit of a tiff over this kind of the semantics of it, but it comes down to I'm blaming TLR for this. How do you let the training staff give your players instructions like that where ambiguity, like you're just bringing up, what is a routine play? What should I be running out 100%? What shouldn't I? Comes down to the training staff. Like, isn't that isn't that
I mean,
everything
I
comes down to the manager? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, so you can always blame the manager for everything. But that just seems like, and especially since TLR referenced the training staff specifically, it's like he was kind of trying to wash his hands of it, saying, "Well, they're under, our players are under their orders, not to do anything, not to leg things out as necessary." That seems to be a major issue on the field now, as that the famous drop third strike, which has worked in your
unbelievable.
favor in your history.
Well,
See ALCS 2005, AJ Przinsky famously, but
the
it worked
ghost,
very much
the
against.
ghost,
Yeah,
the
it
ghost drop third strike.
worked very much against you on Monday night, as Tim Anderson did not even bother running out the drop third strike in the last strike of the game. So
And I think to your point, this is what is routine, and there's nothing routine about that drop third strike as it rolled to the fucking dugout, and he probably would have been safe if he took off.
and
There,
how,
there,
but that comes back to, how do you define routine?
right, exactly.
In
You
his
can't.
mind, that means I can't do anything. I should always jog to first base no matter what.
What
And he
was
he should have done that, but even if he did, that would have given them plenty of time to throw him out. So uh, it just, I think this comes back to TLR's failure as a leader. I mean, he's passing the buck, he's leading, which brings ambiguity, which is confusing everybody and what they should or shouldn't be doing on the field. And so
right?
I think you could specifically blame TA on this, for not even bothering to even pay attention. I did he even know it was a pass ball, or
I don't know what the hell he was
was there an
doing in that situation.
explanation? There
No,
was
I
nothing after the
I
game.
looked. There wasn't really
Wow.
much to be said.
Hmm.
I mean, again, the ball really got far away from the catcher. Now, granted, it was going towards the first base side, so
It's
you
a
don't
it's a
know.
bad look. We don't know what would
Yeah.
have happened, but it's a bad look
Oh
not to even bother.
no, Smitty, he would have been safe. You heard it here.
He's got that groin issue, so
Yeah, well, he's a busy guy. And speaking of Timmy and his hustle and lack thereof, Timmy got injured, went on the IL, and as he was coming back from the IL, and I chose not to cover this.
oh, we're getting
Um,
into it. Okay.
I chose not to cover this because of the I would say social media sources are not reputable sources. They're very gossipy sources, but I'm going to read you some numbers, and after I mentioned the fact that as Tim was returning, rumors came out that he had an affair with a influencer, and that she's pregnant with his child. Then, to make matters worse, a couple days later, someone else came out and said they were also involved with him.
Was there a second child, or there was just two
No,
mistresses?
just
two mistresses, one child.
One child. Two mistresses, one child. And what's behind door number 3?
I just want to make sure I had the math right on this.
I'll tell you what's behind door number 3. A Tim Anderson uncharacteristic spiral. And this is part of our sus this week. His average was 356 when he got injured. He's now batting 314. That is over a 14-game time span. He's gone hitless 6 out of those 14 games. In the first 40 games, he only had gone hitless 10 times. He failed to reach base except for once in the most important series at the moment, the Minnesota series, but they're all kind of important for the White Sox right now since they're chasing. But he got on base once, and that was due to a first inning walk. Now, it was a big walk because Jose Abreu drove him in to get 1 run on the board, and they won by 1 run, so can't discount that. But the fact that he only got on once during such a big series is, again, uncharacteristic of Tim Anderson. He lives for the big moment. Usually he performs at an ungodly level, in a big moment. And then all of a sudden he's pulling the ball. He's pulling the ball to the left side. He's not hitting to right field. He finally, in his last at bat, which I even though it was a pretty hard line out to right, it was to right, and it was a hard hit ball. And I said, all right, that's a good sign. Maybe he's getting that stroke back, because when Tim takes the ball to right field, I mean, just forget about it. He just piles up the numbers and piles up the batting average, but something's wrong. And I don't think anybody's above having to deal with rumors and, if he's having trouble at home with his wife because of this stuff, it can trickle down onto the field.
Yeah, I mean, there's two obvious explanations. Is that one is he's just not healthy, but 2, we've seen it before where off the field issues have affected his performance. He's had tragedy in his life that, it's not his fault by any means. The first one where his best friend for his entire life was murdered.
That was his worst season of his career.
Yeah, and it clearly affected him. I can't believe it wouldn't affect everybody, but I mean, it is one example of how off the field issues have affected his performance. Well, if you're having serious marital issues and they're embarrassingly spread across all of social media, that could have a major detrimental effect to your performance. So it could be a combination, even, or who knows?
Yeah.
So it's a troubling thing. I think. I mean, we can be as irresponsible as we want. We're just a couple of assholes doing a podcast, so I think we could be hesitant to bring up social media rumors. I think there's some substance to those. I haven't heard a denial.
True.
There seems to be some photographic evidence as well, but of course that could be doctored. Who knows? But there's something going on there, regardless. And you pulling up the numbers proves it. So I guess we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, hopefully he's a bit of a catalyst for the team, so he's important to get it going.
Word Hole Media.